How how bad can this get? Danny said to me, "You've got some pretty kind of dystopian views of where this might end up."
It's gonna get pretty bad. You know, so
you're saying that you're not saying it could. You're saying it is.
It is, yeah. And there's unfortunately no way around it. So, right, what are the consequences of money printing again? Right, we malinvest, we prolong our investment, our production stages. Right, we overconsume. Right, this means we start projects where we think we have the resources to finish them, but because we've already consumed all of our resources, there's literally not enough stone, metal, concrete to finish building the house. Right, so, but the big problem is right now, we're just still in full swing of building the house. Everything's awesome. Everyone has work, and we're just, working on building the house. Great. This is the boom period. We think everyone's rich. We're having a lot of fun. The bust comes when you realize that, oh shit, I do not have enough resources to finish building this house. And the sad thing is, it's not just the bad projects that will not have enough resources to finish. It's also the good projects. Because the good projects cannot finish because the resources that it would have needed are now invested in the bad projects, in the marginally worse projects. Right? So the bust period is inevitable. In fact, the bust period is what cleans this entire mess up. Right? We've made mistakes in the past by printing too much money and malinvesting and overconsuming. And the only way out of that is to reallocate those resources away from those that are like bad, so to say, the marginally worse projects, into those marginally higher projects. And that's an extremely, extremely painful thing because, you lose your job, you lose your you lose your roof over over your etc. And that hurts, but there's no way around it. Like the mistakes were made in the past, and the consequences are basically unavoidable, which is super depressing, right? And again, that was me like pre-Bitcoin saying the same thing. Bitcoin somewhat changes this, because with Bitcoin, finally, we have a monetary alternative that actually works, hopefully works at scale, right? And so this means that now we have a sound monetary technology which we can use to help us in the reallocation process, right? We need money to allocate resources. Money gives us prices. Without money, there is no price. Without prices, there is no profitability calculation. Without profit, or without the ability to calculate profit, you're just floating in the dark, no idea in which direction you're going, if you're actually trending up or trending down. So the ability that we have now a monetary system that is true in its total money supply with the lowest barriers of entry for anyone to be able to use that now helps entrepreneurs to start with their economic calculation all over again, so to say. And plus, when people leave fiat currencies and sell that for Bitcoin, that means that fiat currencies hyperinflate much sooner. Right? They will have to print more money a lot quicker because there is now a drain where the capital is leaving out of the fiat system into the Bitcoin system. And so that hyperinflation is going to come much sooner than it otherwise would have been.
And you think that's coming for Europe, coming for the US?
It's coming for everywhere. Yeah. That's like the crazy thing, right? In the past, we had hyperinflation in Weimar Republic, Venezuela, like
Zimbabwe,
small places, right? Nobody cares about them, right? But what happens when we have, and the thing is, right, even when you have hyperinflating economy in Weimar Republic, at least you have a sound economy outside with sound price signals, right, where even entrepreneurs in the Weimar Republic can use those outside information to do at least a partial resource allocation.
Yeah.
It won't be as good as if the money in the Weimar Republic would actually be great, right, but at least there is something. The big problem is now we've hyperinflated every single fiat currency on every single piece of this planet.
Mm-hmm.
There is no outside measuring system that we can use, right? Even in the Soviet Union. Like in the Soviet Union, they didn't have private property, therefore no exchange, therefore no prices, therefore no profitability. So they had no idea what the fuck they were doing. So they sent spies into the West to see what the prices for goods are, right? So that they can actually allocate, like, where should we spend our stuff? Well, now we're in a situation where, because we've hyperinflated everywhere, our pricing is messed up everywhere. And that's a huge problem. Like and Bitcoin finally provides us that kind of escape hatch.
Yeah.
And this parallel economy where we can do proper economic calculation, and this will accelerate the collapse of the fiat system. However, it will lead to a better future in the long run. Like the sooner we stop stealing, the better. Like the best time to stop stealing is 40 years ago.
Yeah.
The second best time is now.
Yeah. All right. Last thing I want to talk to you about before we go. This is the thing I really wanted to talk to you about. Danny was telling me about it. Microscopic cameras.
Yeah.
Nano cameras. I mean, could they be in here now? We don't even know. This is wild. You wait for this one. This is fucking wild. Danny was like, oh yeah, by the way, your private key might never be private. I was like, what? He was like, yeah, nanotech, microscopic flying fucking cameras or whatever. What is this all about?
Yeah, so I was asking myself, like, so having anonymous money, in my opinion, is important. I believe, especially with Wasabi Wallet, we've solved it. And now I'm thinking, okay, what's next? Right? Like, do I still need to continue working on the money, even if Bitcoin is now anonymous?
Yep.
It's kind of great, right? So what's next?
You did it, Max. We can go home now.
Yeah, right. The party's over.
Let's get a beer. Money solved. Right. What's the next problem we're going to get on with?
Yeah, exactly. So the next problem is the money actually solved, though? Right? Because in order, so Bitcoin is money of cyberspace. In order to enter cyberspace, you need to be in meat space. Right? You need to have a physical environment where your body is and where your computer is.
Well, we do, but AI doesn't.
Well, no, even the AI has to be on a computer, right? So, like, every non-scarce digital resource has to be ultimately anchored in physical hardware, at least what we know currently.
Distributed?
Right? Doesn't matter, right? Even if it's distributed, there's still a bunch of different physical computers. And now the really shitty thing is, like, if we do not have a secure meat space, we cannot have a secure cyberspace. Right?
Okay.
Like,
I'm with you.
When your hardware wallet's on the table, this room is not secure, I come and grab it, like, no, your computer is gone. What do? Your Bitcoin are no longer accessible to you. Right? But it's not it's not just about your own physical body and the computer that someone could physically steal. It's also that layer between, like, that meat space layer between the computer and your brain is unencrypted. And that's a big no-no because, as you say, right, there can be micro cameras everywhere, there are microphones everywhere. And if this last mile is not encrypted, then all of these securities that we can gain in cyberspace are null and void. Because you type in your 24 words and the camera picks it up. All of a sudden, your super awesome anonymous money is no longer anonymous nor secure. Right? And that's a really, really big issue.
How do you solve? How do you solve that?
Well, ultimately, I'm not sure. That's why.
But I'm working on it.
I'm not even working on it yet.
3.0.
Well, I think the main thing is to encrypt the last mile. Everything else is great. From your computer to any other computer, perfect encrypted. Yeah. Right? And that's great. That last mile is where it's at. So either we reduce that distance. Let's say if I have contact lenses or something with a screen, then the camera could no longer peer in between. So that's one example.
Yeah.
Or then to literally have an implant into your brain that handles encryption in your brain. So that your brain can encrypt and decrypt the messages that you send to your computer.
What if they hack that chip in our brain?
Sure, right? What if they hack your hardware wallet? That's why we need free and open source hardware and software to be able to verify the things that you run on your computer.
I just want to go back to a simple life.
Yeah, there's no going back, man.
Give me a log cabin, buy a lake, and some books. I think I'm getting too old for this now. There's too much going on. A microchip in my head to protect my Bitcoin.
Yeah. That's the thing. It's not just about your Bitcoin, though. Like, it's about the communications with your loved ones, right, as well. Like, it's about your business. It's about your friends and everything.